feel safe riding a bicycle next to big American cars and trucks? Hi, I'm Jason, and this is Jason's Easy English, a podcast that helps you improve your English and learn about American culture with clear, understandable episodes in authentic, everyday language. Today, we're talking about bicycle safety in the United States. Is it safe to even ride a bike here? The honest answer is, it depends. But first, a quick reminder. If you enjoy this content, please don't forget to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, is it safe to ride a bicycle in the United States? First, we need to understand something important. In much of the United States, car culture is king. And what I mean by car culture is that many American cities were designed around highways, parking lots, and wide roads. Suburbs are often spread out. Stores, offices, and schools can be far apart from each other. Everything assumes that you're in your car driving. Because of that, bike infrastructure has sometimes been an afterthought. Let's pause on this word, an afterthought. It literally means something done after the main thinking, right? Something added later, not part of the original plan. So, bike infrastructure often feels like an afterthought. You might see a thin painted line on the road, and that's the bike lane. There's no barrier, no physical protection, just paint between you and traffic. Now, that doesn't mean biking is unsafe everywhere. In some cities, you'll find dedicated bike lanes. So these are special lanes only for bicycles. In Portuguese, they are faixas exclusivas para bicicletas, or in Spanish, carriles exclusivos para bicicletas. These lanes may be separated from cars by plastic posts, curbs, or even small concrete barriers. That separation makes riders feel much safer. You can also find long, scenic bike paths. A bike path is a road or trail that's only for bicycles and sometimes for people walking. These often go through parks, along rivers, or old railway lines. Riding there can feel calm and enjoyable, and definitely safer. But here's where things get complicated. Attitudes towards cyclists vary a lot. In some cities, drivers are used to bikes. They're accustomed to them. They expect them. So they slow down, they give them space. In other places, especially smaller towns or very car-centered suburbs, a cyclist on the road can feel unusual. Drivers may not expect to see a bike in traffic, and some drivers may become impatient or even aggressive. In the United States, you'll often see signs that say, "Share the road." This is a message telling drivers and cyclists to use the road together safely. It literally means in Portuguese, compartilhe a estrada, or in Spanish, comparte la carretera. So that's the idea. Everyone expects each other. Share the road. But in practice, a cyclist riding in regular traffic may be taking a risk, doing something that is dangerous, if they're not extremely careful. So, you have to be alert, watch for cars turning right, be careful at intersections, and make eye contact with drivers when possible. To put it simply, the United States just isn't Denmark or the Netherlands when it comes to bicycles. In countries like Denmark and the Netherlands, cycling infrastructure is everywhere. Protected lanes are normal. People of all ages bike to work, to school, to the grocery store. It's part of daily life. In the United States, that level of infrastructure depends on the community. Some cities are trying to build out their bike networks, right? To build out means to develop something, to expand it over time. So some U.S. communities are trying to build out their cycling infrastructure. They add more protected lanes, they connect trails, they improve safety rules. These cities often describe themselves as bike-friendly. That usually means better infrastructures and drivers who are more aware of cyclists. But even in bike-friendly cities like Portland, Oregon, or Minneapolis, Minnesota, cyclists still need to ride defensively. Large pickup trucks and SUVs are common in the U.S., and when you're on a bicycle next to a very big vehicle, you definitely feel small and vulnerable. So, what's the bottom line? Is it safe to ride a bicycle in the U.S.? It depends on the region, it depends on the city, it depends on the road design, and it depends on driver attitudes and behavior. And cyclist attitudes and behavior. Remember, the idea is to share the road. Everyone is responsible for safety. In some communities, biking feels normal and comfortable. In others, it can feel stressful and even dangerous and intimidating. So, if you plan to ride in the U.S., it's smart to research your area, look for protected lanes or special bike paths, and understand that safety can vary from one neighborhood to another. Always be alert. All right, I hope that explanation was interesting and understandable. But before I let you go, let's review the main points of today's episode. Today, we learned that much of the United States is shaped by car culture, meaning cities are designed primarily for cars. We talked about how bike infrastructure can sometimes be an afterthought, something that's added later instead of being part of the original plan. However, some cities have dedicated bike lanes and scenic bike paths, which make cycling more enjoyable and safer. We also explained the meaning of share the road, a slogan that encourages drivers and cyclists to respect each other. Even so, cyclists on busy roads may be taking a risk if they're not very careful. Finally, we discussed how some cities are trying to build out their cycling networks and become more bike-friendly. But safety really depends on the specific community. So remember, this isn't Denmark or the Netherlands. In the U.S., biking safety varies from place to place. So do your research. All right, that's all I have for today's episode. I hope you were able to understand most of it and learn something new about American culture. Be sure to follow or subscribe to my podcast, and please share Jason's Easy English with your friends who are also learning English. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.